Hello learners, today we are going to talk about what digital natives are and how you as a teacher should be teaching the digital natives. The knowledge economy has brought in many changes in this world and has provided a lot of challenges of different nature to the education process. In our changing world today, aren't the students not different? What is that they want? And how can we motivate and engage them fruitfully in getting the desired results is what we are going to talk of today. How can we better connect with these new generation of digital natives who learn, talk, walk technology? The students today, they prefer visuals and graphics over reading. They are no longer found with books, they are found with tabs and phones. They are multitaskers. At one given point of time, you will find them doing everything all together with no concentration in one task. They have no linear access to knowledge. It's not that it is only a library or a book which they refer to and they gain knowledge, or they listen to the teacher and gain knowledge. They have random access to knowledge. They have random process of the internet or what we call the Google, and they look for knowledge and get it in the classroom. So that means you as a teacher will be equipped better to handle such learners in your classrooms. Then they also lack greater spans of attention only when they do not want to listen. But when they want to listen, when they want to play a game, when they want to watch a movie, or they want to do anything on their mobiles or phones or laptops, then they have great spans of attention. So there is nothing wrong with the fact that they are lacking attention. The problem is that we are not delivering the way they want us to deliver. So we as teachers have to gain a better interactivity with them through the means of various technological uses in our classrooms. Now first let me tell you, what is a digital native? The term is new, but it exists from the year 2001 and was brought into practice by Mark Prensky when he delivered the same term in one of the articles of a magazine. He says that digital natives represent the first generation to grow up with new technology. Basically the ones who are born between late 70s and the 90s. They are what we are calling as the digital natives. Digital natives, as the two terms, digital means something which is related to the technological electronic media, and native means the one who lives in that. So digital activity is like a mother tongue for them. It is not easy. It is not like us that we bring in a new technological gadget at house and we read its journal. No, these digital natives will just start working on it and start learning it with practice. They are growing up in such an environment that they can think and process information in a totally different way than the previous generations. Their thinking patterns have changed, and Mark Prensky says that it is likely that their brains have physically changed too. There are a lot of researches going on these days, and the results are that there is a visible gap between the learning environment provided to these digital natives and their own skills of learning. They are born with these skills of learning. They have seen things around them which we as children did not see. So what is it that we as teachers will have to do to cater to their needs and demands in the classroom so that they do not show resistance to our teaching and they are not bored by our regular lectures. This is a radical change such that there is a big discontinuity between their generations and the previous ones. Now if they are digital natives, what are we? We are digital immigrants. Why are we immigrants? Because we are learning to use these devices. We were not born in an environment where these devices were readily available around us. So to differentiate between the digital natives and the other users of digital ICTs, Mark Prensky introduced the concept of digital immigrants. They are the individuals not born in the digital world but who adopted many aspects of the new digital age. They are essentially different from digital natives in the sense that they must learn what digital natives grow up knowing as a mother tongue. So why are we here today talking about natives? It is because of the increasing population, the increased quantity and the decreased quality of education being provided world over. the globalization process, liberalization, privatization, all these aspects have affected not only the education but also the society and the world all over. But the fact remains that the future of a country is written in the classrooms. And the biggest paradox which an educator feels is that the change is coming everywhere. The education system is changing everywhere, but not in the actual formal educational system of a classroom and the teacher-student interaction. So, how do we deal with this? How is it that we cater to the demands of the 21st century digital natives and deliver our lessons in such a way that the children are encouraged to be a part of the learning? The first one is, life as the new knowledge society demands more independent and responsible behavior. We have to stop spoon feeding the children. We have to give them their space and time. We have to make them realize that they are responsible individuals, be it a class 1 child or be it a class 12 child. Teachers need to learn how to seek out new information, think critically and take initiative to meet the challenges of the fast changing world. Don't think that the child sitting in your classroom is looking for some information from you, because he has the book with him, he has the technology with him, he has the time with him to read and learn and come to your class. So, what are you as a teacher going to do? You will have to hence look for more information, and you will have to disseminate it in such a way that the learner knows that the teacher is important. Information is available, but how is it to be organized, that the child does not know. So, that is where the role of the teacher comes in, and you as a teacher have to learn to organize this already available information in a critically interesting manner for the learner who is a digital native. Next is, the new instructional technologies have brought about changes in pedagogy and curriculum content and have been instrumental in increased academic productivity and teaching effectiveness. Of course, we all know there is lots done in ICT and how we have encouraged the teachers to use ICT, but are they really skilled to use the ICT? Do they really have the attitudes to use the ICT in the classroom? No, they don't. At times they are forced to do it, so they do it. But you as a new teaching generation or the new teaching fraternity will have to practice these technological advancements just like the usual way the students do. In the recent years, ICT has paved the way for accelerating the paradigm shift through providing more flexible ways of learning. So, you have to ensure that you complement these flexible ways of learning by your own teaching styles. Schools and colleges and universities are increasingly utilizing the distributed networks and multimedia to enhance the classroom instructions so as to provide efficient teaching and effective learning. But what is still happening? It is just the use of technology, not there is no change in the style of teaching which has imbibed that technology in the usual lectures. It is just like reading from the slides and delivering lessons in the classroom, which makes it all the more monotonous for the students to listen to the teacher. Our education system is basically closed looped. That is one big challenge that we have when it comes to digital natives. We decide what we want to teach, then we deliver it in the class, and then we go on with an assessment, we provide the results, and we take the outcome that the student has not excelled or has excelled in these XYZ areas. So, when we have to prepare ourselves for a digital native, we have to see how we bring in the essence of these aspects of addressing the digital native in each of these looped system of our education. Hence, we come to what we call the parameters for preparing the teachers for teaching the digital natives. The first one here is understanding the changing needs. The second, the skills required by the teacher. The third is challenges faced by the teacher. The fourth is how to bridge the gap, and the fifth is the learner itself. Let's begin with the first point of understanding the changing needs. We have to emphasize on experiential learning. The more experience we provide to the child, the more exposure we provide to the child, the better it becomes for the child to learn in the classroom. It has to be related to their real life situations. We have to involve more of group work, cooperative learning, so that the students can complement their learning from each other rather than just receiving it from the teacher. We have to expose them and give them opportunities to observe the real phenomena happening around us, be it with the help of videos, be it with the help of some actual observations, so that they do not have to be spoon fed with the inferences and the ideas which are, or the facts which are proved from the given exposure or observations. Digital delivery has to be enhanced. We have to understand as teachers that if we use the digital component in our classroom, the child himself or herself shall come into our classroom and would be interested in listening to what we have to do. It has to be interest driven, something which will connect to their life, something which will connect to their own experiences, so that the child can not feel restricted in the classroom when he is sitting there. And of course, the 21st century skills which we are going to talk about now. The skills required to deal with the natives. The first one is innovation, flexibility, self-direction, social and cross-cultural interaction and responsibility. We are becoming a multicultural society. The world has become a small global village. There are interactions taking place across the globe within seconds. The whole digital knowledge repeats itself or enhances itself within minutes. So what is the teacher doing? Does she have the skills to cater to these things? Does she have the skills to recognize the changes taking place in the global world, in the cross-cultural world? What kind of interactions do we have? Are we having cross-cultural interactions? The natives are having these interactions. So we as teachers will also have to enhance our skills for this. We have to adapt to become creative class experts. Now creative class experts means that you have to give their space for their imagination, for their creativity, and let them deal with the situation in their own way, and then analyze the situation and give your own viewpoints. Do not impose your own learning or own experiences on the students. You encourage independent thinking instead of applying standard approaches. Then give freedom of choice and expression. Give them the freedom to speak, give them the freedom to bring information, give them the freedom to present information, and then you as a guide, as a facilitator, just conclude over it. Learn to collaborate with these children rather than being just teachers to them. Be the co-creators of knowledge. They are the co-creators of knowledge. We have to accept this, that the natives, that the digital natives or the today's child is a co-creator of his own knowledge. He can learn anything that you teach on his own, but still, because of our education system, he has to be a part of the classroom. So let him have that space of creating his own knowledge, constructing his own knowledge. Now when we talk of 21st century skills, these are the basic lifelong learning skills which every individual should have. If you see on the slide, it says foundational literacies, competencies and character qualities. These are the 21st century skills: critical thinking, problem solving, creativity, communication, collaboration, partnering, very important. The teacher has to take a new pedagogy of partnering with the child so that the child can build his curiosity, initiative. He has the grit, the persistence to do the work in a desired manner, and with the confidence that the teacher will be helping him and facilitating his learning and appreciating his efforts. Now in this process of learning, we see there are some challenges which are being faced by the teacher. Tapscott in 2009 says that the distinctive features of digital natives in his wide-scale study, he says, according to his research results, digital natives are among other things globally thinking and tolerant for diversity. They are natural collaborators. They appreciate freedom of choice and expression, and they are innovative, looking for creative ideas to collaborate, to learn, to construct and to partner. Now this partnership can be between students, this partnership can be between teacher and student, this partnership can be between teacher and teacher. So you as a teacher have to see, as per the situational demand, how you bring in the component of partnership and collaboration in your classroom teachings. They are accustomed to participatory economy instead of consumers of information, and they are co-creators. We've already talked of co-creators, and here there is another study by Shirky in 2008 which again says that we have to give them that space so that they are not just consumers of information. They are not just taking information, feeding the way we are feeding it to them. They are a part of the participatory economy. They want to be a part of the leading economy. They want to be a part of their own knowledge construction, own cognitive construction. So this is a big challenge which the teacher has to accept and deliver accordingly. Efficiencies and innovations, very important. How efficiently are the teachers being trained so that the students can be dealt with the way we want them to be? Are they aware of the innovations in the digital world so that they can also contribute? And how authentic is the information which they are going to get from the digital world? That is another challenge which the teachers have to face. Learner-centered classrooms. Our shift of education system has completely taken from the teacher-centered to learner-centered classrooms. So, this is another challenge which the teacher of this 21st century has to face so that she can address the digital natives. Responsibility of learners. Whatever be said and done, it is eventually the education evaluation which is done through the means of examinations which is accountable for. So, the teacher has to take the responsibility of this result as well. She has to take the responsibilities of the learner's skills. So, that poses as another challenge for her to implement the digital skills in the classroom. Sustainability of effort and interest. How long can a teacher can sustain the effort, the interest, the challenge which she has accepted? How religiously, how meticulously, how persistently can she follow this is also dependent upon the teacher's own attitudes and beliefs. Collaboration between teachers and students, which we have already talked of, and unable to bridge the gap between theory and practice, because there is so much to be taught, because there is so much on paper to be given to the classroom. So, what is to be done? It is to be done in such a way that you can bridge the theory and practice differences. There is no uniformity in the internship practices. There are different areas of different places where internship takes place, and there is no uniformity of how the teacher has to deliver, and lack of skill directed learning and evaluation. Now we come to the fourth aspect, that is bridging the gap between the digital learner and the digital immigrant. Their source of knowledge is just not the classroom. We have already talked of that. So, what do? We build networks. Whom do we build networks with? We involve the community, we involve the parents and teachers and students. In the community, we have their employers, we have our senior citizens, we have our markets, we have our industries. All these will have to be involved so that we can provide a better environment inside the school, so to enable the digital natives to learn better. The parents and the teachers will have to change their attitudes. They will have to understand that it is not that the digital native is not following their own traditions or customs or is not learning with the way we want them to learn, but we as parents and teachers will have to adapt ourselves towards their demands, towards their needs, so that they respect us. We will have to respect them so that they respect us. We teachers will have to create lots of blogs. We will have to open group discussion forums, create e-portfolios and integrate e-gaming in the classroom. If the child is busy playing on a game at home, why can't we bring the same game in the classroom and deliver our learning through that means, so that the child feels that his classroom environment and his real life environment is the same. Teachers should aim for collective intelligence, that is, the natives possess individual and collective intellect. It is not that collective intelligence is, taking the intelligence of all the students in the classroom and putting it all together. No, let me give you an example here. When we talk of collective intelligence, we can refer to what the ants do. What do? They bring in the heaviest of things but all together, and the result is a contribution to the well-being of all the ants, not just one or two ants. Similarly, the teacher has to bridge the gap by using this collective intelligence. Let the child bring in the information, you facilitate the child, let the child use technology, you guide the child to use technology, and I am sure you will come out with flying colors. Now, what today's students want? First of all, they do not want to be lectured. They do not want a proper bore class where the teacher stands and lectures and the students are listening. It has to be more than just lecturing. They want to be respected, trusted, and to have their own opinions valued and counted. We cannot just say to them, you are small, tumhe nahi pata hai, so you will have to stay with my views and ideas. No, they have their own opinions and we will have to respect their opinions. They want to follow their own interests and passions. When they learn with passion, they will learn for their life. If we do not involve their passion in learning, then we are not giving them an environment for a constructive learning. They want to create, use tools of their time. They want to work with their peer and group work and projects. So why not? Let's just work on it. Just let them, give them the space and the time to work with their friends and make decisions and share the control of the learning. They want to connect with their peers to express and share their opinions in class and around the world. So let us give them the opportunities so that they can actually share good understanding between their peers, knowledge between their peers rather than just talking. They want to cooperate and compete with each other. They want to be ahead of each other, which is a basic student or a child or a human nature. So why not give them opportunities to do so? They want an education that is not just relevant but real. Now what do I mean by saying real education is that the students today, they know what they are learning, and when they go back home they can easily apply it or learn out of it. So everything that is around them, everything that they can imagine should be real. So real education means that we cannot just say that you learn it today and you will implement it after 10 years. No, the education in their context in today's times for the digital natives should be very, very implementable in their current and immediate learning environments. Now the future technology trends in the classrooms: e-readers, whiteboards, virtual schools, handheld devices and replacement of textbooks. I am sure all of you have heard of all these devices and all these ways of using technology in the classroom. So why not bring in that skill set, and why not bring in that change of attitude amongst ourselves so that we become the teachers of tomorrow who can address the digital natives very well. Another interesting fact is that the teachers who are coming into line nowadays are nothing but digital natives themselves, because they must have been born between the last 20 to 30 years, and which has been a part of digital native era. So that means the coming fraternity of teachers will be far more equipped to handle the digital natives, and that is the shift that we also see in our education system these days. So the major shift in the teacher education program should also be from teacher centric to learner centric, which has already happened. The passive reception in learning has to be changed to active participation in learning. Give them project work, give them more activities to do rather than just describing to them what is written in their books. Learning within the four walls of the classroom has to be changed to learning in the wider social context. Collaborate, partner with the social organizations, with the NGOs, and let them go out and learn from the real life situations, the real education which they actually want. Knowledge is to be given and fixed. It was in the past that we used to just give knowledge and fix it to there, but now it evolves. It is created each day. So why not? We should take lessons from the past. We should take experience from the past, but deliver as per the demands of the future. So before I conclude, we talked of what digital natives are and why is it that we feel that the students of today are changing. They are changing because they are born in that environment. They are changing because they are born in the digital environment which we as parents and teachers and creators have given it to them. So why not give the education also in such a way that the student can feel happy about it, happy about being in a class, and there are no contradictions in his school environment and his world outside. The field of education all over the world is swept by the paradigm shift that is a result of a new awakening in the teaching learning process. So why not we also change our teaching learning process, change our teacher training programs and bring in something which is more receptive, more collaborative as per the demands of the 21st century children, which we call them as digital natives. No doubt the traditional methods of teaching and learning cannot be avoided at any cost, but the blending in of these traditional methods with e-learning strategies may be fruitful for teachers as well as learners in the future technologies, so that they can promote the efficiency and the effectiveness of education. Thank you.